I received this in my email today. Public meeting about the Upper Bondsville Dam. As many of you know, the land, actually let you speak, you probably know more about this than I do, don't you?
Well, I know, okay, I mean, the date is Thursday, October 1st, at 7 o'clock in the Belchertown High School cafeteria. It is a discussion with the Belchertown Land Trust, which owns the dam by the Bondsville Bridge, as well as something like 60 acres on both sides of the river. And the question that comes up is what to do about the dam. You may remember at the last town meeting, the Belchertown Land Trust applied for community preservation funds for part of this project of figuring out what to do with it and getting public input and so forth. The bulk of the money for this conversation is a separate grant, but I think we appropriated $5,000 in support of it, we being the town meeting. In any case, this is an opportunity to learn about it. The question has to do with, should the dam be repaired, or should it be demolished, or various possibilities in between, I think, are potentially there. So this is a meeting to talk about it in Belchertown High School on October 1st, 7 o'clock.
That dam creates quite a recreational facility. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
It's like a whole lake.
That's correct. In fact, I was out there myself the first time a couple of weeks ago in our kayaks. There's a number of accesses to the Swift River. Basically, the Swift River is navigable with kayaks and other boats from the dam most of the way back to the Quabbin Dam, the Quabbin Dam. It's an absolutely fabulous place.
That $5,000, that was a drop in the bucket, was it not?
It's not to do the repairs, it was to help and there was another $25,000 they got as a grant. This is to have this conversation to figure out what to do with it. I don't know. I don't know that.
Thousands and thousands.
I would think it would be a lot of money.
A lot of money.
But you know, come to the meeting and you'll hear it. I mean, I know that the people, particularly people who live on the river, are very interested in it. Because this is state fish and wildlife access, the state has an interest, and we all do, because this is an absolutely fabulous
When is that
place.
meeting?
It's on October 1st at 7 o'clock at Belchertown High School.
Item 9, individual board members. Oops. Yeah, item 8, individual board members reports.
Just to have our monthly regional casino task force meeting is coming Wednesday at 7:30 at the Munson Town Hall. Keep the board updated, I guess, what's happening now as a result of our last meeting. Other towns now are considering that Palmer's not the only site. There may be other sites where neighboring towns, where the other proposed site, which was Warren, are beginning to form similar meetings as far as to look at what the impacts will be for their communities. So, until they really define what's going on, the problem here is just too much is up in the air. We need to know what the legislation is going to read, but from what I understand, they're not going to take up the matter for another month or a couple months now for the fall. There is, I know, at least what I'm hearing is there is support right now for some gaming, but we need to get a little more definition as far as what does that mean and where. As I said, in the original legislation, Western Mass included Worcester County, which is only in Boston that they declared Worcester County part of Western Mass, but they did. So, stay tuned. I'll let you know next week what the meeting came up.
Thank you.
Just contract negotiations, keep me caught in, but we'll hear about that later on.
Thank you.
The sale of the EVIC land to the town and the school committee, Lake Wallace and Foley Field. It turns out that EDIC went over their CPA appropriation for legal fees. Who comes to the rescue? Ed Sokolowski. He managed to get a contribution from Country Bank to pay most of the difference of what's needed in the legal fees. I attended a presentation today with him and Dr. Houle and two people from the president of Country Bank and another staff person at Foley Field. And so thank you again to Ed Sokolowski and Country Bank. The other thing I have is I attended the meeting of the Community Preservation Committee last week, my first as a non-member. You remember we talked about the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission Housing Survey. I was asked to help to have a presentation here for it. The committee, of course, also wants to have a presentation to the full town where people will be able to ask questions and comment. So they've invited Jane Bernhardt, who's the author for the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, to come to their next meeting, and we'll try to set that up, perhaps for October.
Is that Foley Field, Lake Well, all Lake Wallace, is that put to bed now?
I think we've been put to bed about 3 times.
Keeps falling out of bed.
Ed is something else, isn't he? How he
It's amazing,
sits right there
his dedication
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's been amazing.
Really committed. Last Monday, I attended a meeting with representatives of the PVTA, the shuttle bus service for Belchertown and Ware. And a lot was discussed, and hopefully this is going to catch on. There's going to be signage put up so that people will know where the shuttle bus stops and picks up people. So if you're a potential user, please use the shuttle bus so we can retain that service to our people. On Wednesday, September 16, I did attend the meeting with the department heads that was hosted by our administrator, Gary Brome, and Judy Metcalf, our health official, really gave quite a presentation to all the department heads that were here to really think about what happens if, and it's good to cover it. Gary, to be commended for kicking this thing off and covering this issue before it actually affects the town. So let's hope it doesn't, but if it does, we should at least be somewhat prepared. And also on Wednesday, September 16, I attended the MSA, Massachusetts Selectmen's Association's meeting that was held at Tony and Penny's restaurant in Ludlow. And it was an interesting discussion that took place. Alan Stenkowski, he's the president of the board, and he gave made remarks and gave a concise update of the legislative and of the MMA, the Massachusetts Municipal Association. So it was very informative and very interesting to be there. And on Thursday, I attended a meeting with the Veterans Agent, I always get the name mixed up, Veterans Service Advisory Board. And here again, there was a discussion of new business. The initial Veterans Day planning was discussed, and an update on Belchertown's memorial criteria for name placement on various memorials in town. And here again, these meetings are open to the public, and if you are a veteran or have interest in Veterans Affairs, please attend the meetings. They're held on the third Thursday of the month at 6 o'clock, and they don't go much over an hour. And if you have something to add to it, it certainly would be welcome. And that's my activity for the week.
Thank you.